How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another XRP update. I think it has been since Friday that I brought to you my last video. Not much has developed. The $2.28 level did hold and it started to move back up. We're actually turning the moving averages back into support. That's what we're seeing over the past couple of days over here. But the 0.5 remains resistance. XRP is still trapped under the head and shoulders neckline. And although we identified this potential double bottom over here, and there has been a gradual move up, XRP is still not in the clear yet. What I'll need to see is a recovery of the head and shoulders neckline and the move back up into $3.15. It's very important to get up to $3.15. We can see there have been attempts in the past. It stopped quite early here at 280 and on the 786 here. So it just missed tapping into the 886, but that also would not have been good enough. I have shown it some examples in the past with Bitcoin that it could move up into the 886 and still continue into lower lows. So this macro base that we've created over the last couple of months could be lost. We really don't want that to happen. So this move up has to sustain. It has to break through 315. And that is only when we consider the targets above valid. So of course, with hindsight, when you're up at 4, 5, maybe $6, this was successful from down here. It was successful in breaking through 315 in one swoop. And you look back and you'd say, oh, that was the earliest, the cheapest price could have got, or down there as well. Of course, you would have got experience further drawdown. The wick was filled, but from down here, it broke through 315. You're up at $4, $5, $6, and you're looking back saying, yeah, that was probably the best DCA price. But with hindsight, that's the thing. When we're living through it, there's no guarantee. Nothing here is 100%. In terms of probabilities, as we're under the head and shoulders neckline and the reverse wave is not created, then technically this should roll over eventually and lose this base. But of course, if the assumption is we're in a bull market, a macro bull market, and we have been for years, the last few years, then of course we're expecting higher prices. And at some point, this 886 will give in. So of course, beneath that, if this is the target, if this is the level that suggests a further move up, then of course you want to get in while it's undervalued and under that location. But that move up is not guaranteed whatsoever until that's broken. Let me now go through some examples on Bitcoin. You can see there was a massive move down over here. It pumped all the way into the 886. Take that back to XRP real quickly before we continue. That's like a move down from $3.39 all the way to $1.70, and all the way from $1.70 back up to $3.15, and then still lower. Like imagine that. Imagine pumping from $1.78, I think it is, all the way to $3.15, and then to go under $1.70. That is the reality. That's what could happen. This is what this example shows. Of course, if this is then broken, if it had broken it, then these would all become the targets. And so, yes, you can prepare and look forward to those. Maybe while it's a more risky scenario, maybe DCing at a slower rate. Look, come to your own conclusions, make your own strategy, of course. But I've just shown examples where we could get a move up. We could be getting convinced we're going to break through and meet these targets of $4, $5, and $6.50. But until this $3 area breaks, there's no real confirmation of that. So do what you will with this information. Keep that in the back of your mind, especially while under the head and shoulders neckline. At least when $2.70 is recovered, the neckline is recovered, I could then say, look, we're now slowly invalidating these bearish signals. That would be a great first step in the right direction in creating the reverse wave, in validating these targets. But yeah, we would still need to wait for 315 to flip into support. And then, of course, breaking this high, the 1 fib. By that point, there is nothing bearish. So long trades, even with leverage, that's what I'll be doing at that moment, because the probabilities that it's bearish at that point, there are literally none. As we're climbing back up, even as we're invalidating the probabilities one by one, They're still there. So let's get them all out the way. Still going to be cautious while under 315. A very good first step in the right direction is a recovery of the neckline, which is at $2.70. And this should actually start the move to 315. Even if it gets rejected, I'd need to see $2.70 holding. Maybe can reverse from 280, but 270 needs to hold. And then a break of 315 to target 4, 5, and an eventual $6.50 target. That is it from me today. Thank you for tuning in. There should be more updates on the channel today on other alts, and I should make another update on XRP tomorrow because there might be a move to the head and shoulders neckline in the next few days. Very interesting. We need to keep our eyes on that as well, because if we're approaching this by Friday and the weekend is here, then the stock market shuts, the volume dies down. That could be where it gets rejected. We need the head and shoulders neckline recovered, not a rejection from there, because a rejection would just further confirm it as resistance. And on the 2-day time frame, you can see there have not really been closes above the neckline, only attempts at climbing back up through. On the daily, we can see it did close back above on 2 separate occasions, but the 2-day time frame shows that we never got a candle closure above. So we need to see that happen. We can't see it leading into the weekend and rejecting this area. That would further confirm a move back down, and I'll look at the supports for you in those following updates. That's it from me today. Like, subscribe, comment, and share so we could hit 10K. It would really be appreciated if you could bump up the algorithm. And if you want to get educated, I have many things in place. Check them out. The ebook is really cheap. It's like 30 to 40 pages. It's going to give you my strategy in a written format. You have that for life. You can do that in your own time. If you want something more personal, more one-to-one, it is at the priciest option because it's private. But any questions, whether you want to learn about crypto, Bitcoin, if you want to learn how to read the charts just like me, there are mentorship options. The links are down below. Now, one of the best options and the cheapest option is the Discord community. I've got multiple people in there, almost 100, and they're all sharing their TA, their viewpoints. It's just a community. I'm sharing my TA, what I'm personally doing with my portfolio, what I'm buying, and actually hosting workshops in there as a group. So something that we'd be doing like in the mentor one-to-ones, but just as a group. So we do that on a weekly basis. If you want to tune into them, try it out for a month, use the links down below. I'll catch you over there. Thanks, everyone.